ready to start now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for doing yoga class with me today.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Before we start, I know we just got back from a big backpacking trip.
That's true.
That's true. I want to check in about injuries beforehand, so I know you're recovering from an ankle injury.
Yes.
Which one? Which ankle is it again?
My right ankle.
Right ankle. Your knee's been bugging ya?
Little bit pain in my knee.
Right knee as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you mentioned just your ongoing lower back.
Yeah, the low back is fine right now. I have
Okay.
2 knots, one under each shoulder blade. Both
Perfect.
of them hurt terribly.
Splendid.
It hurts all the way up to my neck.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bit of a shoulder rotator cuff injury. Oh!
Oh, okay.
There.
Gotcha. Is that from the fall today? No, just in general.
That's from the gym.
Okay.
That's about it for now.
And just a lot of tightness through your hamstrings and stuff as
Yeah,
well.
I also have tightness and a ganglion cyst in my wrists.
Okay.
Sometimes doing flat wrist stuff hurts.
Okay. Perfect.
An old fart. You picked the wrong person here.
No, not the wrong person at all. I'm sure you've heard this before, but if you are experiencing any pain or sharpness or discomfort, let me know, and we can come up with something else to do.
Sounds good.
Okay. Are you okay if I touch you while we're moving? I'll give you a warning ahead of time, like to provide adjustments and stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, we can start by taking a comfy seat. However that might be for you. I'm going to use a block. I'm going to sit on a block.
You're gonna sit on a block?
I'm going to sit on a block.
Can I sit on a block?
Sit on a block, yeah.
That's nice,
I'm
actually.
going to just have a little seat for a little while. Taking a little time to settle into your seat. Maybe eyes closed or open. While you take your seat, I will offer my thoughts and intention for our practice together today. Yoga has a lot of different definitions. One of my personal favorite is from the Bhagavad Gita, and it is equanimity is yoga. Similarly to yoga having a lot of different definitions, equanimity also has a lot of different definitions. The Pali word for equanimity is upekkha, which can be translated to seeing with patience or understanding. And another Pali translation of equanimity is to stand in the middle of all this. So as we take our seat, again with eyes open or closed, I just offer for today's practice the idea of equanimity and remaining centered and standing in the middle of all this, inviting everything that is alive and present for you today to be with you on the mat as we practice together. So we'll just sit for a few more moments. Maybe taking some time to notice what we are in the middle of now, the sounds around us. The smells of the backyard. The sensation of your breath. Maybe you feel it more in your nose or in the rise and fall of your chest and abdomen. And maybe gently fluttering your eyes open and rotating your head over the left shoulder and moving your head around like you're an owl, but the slowest owl that ever existed, and slowly taking in the sights around you, moving in 180 degrees. Maybe taking a moment to notice things that feel pleasant to your eyes as you orient to your environment. When you're ready, coming back to the center, removing the block from underneath your seat, and finding your way to your back. So we're going to start with some nerve flossing. I know you mentioned a lot of tightness in your hamstrings. So we'll see what's available for you and check and adjust as we need to. So what's going to happen first is you're going to take your two palms and wrap them around your right quad, or hamstring, not quad. And then find a place where you can straighten your leg, and what we're looking for is about a 3 out of 10 stretch in your hamstring. So when you find that kind of 3 out of 10 stretch in your hamstring, we're just going to hang out there. And we're just going to begin by pointing and flexing the toe as much as we can. How's that on your ankle? Is that okay in terms of mobility?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So we're going to do about 10 of these. I think that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then I'm not sure how available this one is for you. We're going to now move that locus of movement to our knee. So we're just going to be doing a bend and straighten. Again, not trying to push beyond that 3 out of 10 stretch, but bend in the knee and then straightening. So trying to keep that knee as the locus of movement rather than the hip. Yeah, nice, that's good. 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can shake it out for a second if you need to. Make the leg chill. I always find these are more tiring than I expect them to be. Yeah. When you're ready, you'll wrap your arm around the back of that hamstring again, finding that 3 out of 10 stretch in the hamstring. And then we're going to just be doing some big ankle circles. So first turning in towards the other leg, as much mobility as feels comfortable. And we're going to do 10 of these as well. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then moving in the other direction. 1,
I can't remember which direction
2,
I went.
yeah, you're right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. Where do you feel the fatigue?
In my
Yeah.
hamstring for trying to hold on my leg.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So we're gonna switch to the other side now. Other leg. And starting just with those, finding that 3 out of 10 stretch in the hamstring, and then pointing and flexing the foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And are you able to straighten this leg? Is that okay for you? Okay. And then moving that locus of movement to the knee. So bending and straightening through the knee as much as you can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and even smaller movements. So you don't have to move your leg down quite so much, just like an inch or 2 and up. 7, 8, nice. 9, and 10. Let it rest if you need to. Take a breath. And when you're ready, grab another leg again to do the ankle circles as well. Other leg, left leg. 3 out of 10 stretch. And first the direction, inwards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the other direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. You can let that leg down. Shake them out. That feels good. Maybe rocking back and forth on your back. Kind of noticing, finding the center of the tailbone a little bit. Maybe even bending the knees and windshield wipering left to right. Again, I know we just got back from a big backpacking trip, so letting things feel nice and good and juicy and sore as they need to. And when you're ready, grabbing the knees, wrap your arms around, and just doing gentle rocks along the spine. And finding your way up onto your butt. And crisscrossing your legs. Hands planting in front of you, rolling over the top of your crisscross if you can, if that's comfortable.
Can I do it on my fists?
Sure, that's fine. And then stepping back into a tabletop position. So I want to take a little time to warm up your wrist as well. I know you have a little situation in your right wrist as well. So again, if you have any issues or pain, let me know. We can figure out something else. But we're just going to start here with some cat-cow. So on the next exhale, going ahead and rounding the spine, dropping the head. And on the inhale, dropping the chest down, lifting the head. And exhale, rounding the spine. And inhale, dropping the chest. And allowing yourself to take some intuitive movement, maybe pushing back and forth between the shoulder blades. Maybe doing some circles through the back body. And when you feel complete in that, finding a neutral spine, so feeling as though you have a string pulling from the crown of your head towards the front of your mat, or I guess towards this back wall of the house here. Nice neutral spine, and moving the shoulders forward over the top of the wrists, over to the right, back, to the left, over, and around. Just moving in circles around. How does that feel on your wrist? Is that okay?
Pain.
Pain? Okay. Well, let's ease out of it then a little bit. Is it any kind of like circular movement that feels?
If I go up onto my wrist.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ease back. Don't have to do that at all. Maybe just moving from side to side if that feels okay. How does that feel for it? Yeah. And back, side to side. Beautiful. So from here we're going to tuck our toes, straighten the legs, and find our way into our first down dog. So maybe that means stepping the feet back a little bit, pedaling them out. I am feeling super tight myself. And maybe finding a big bend in your knees and allowing your chest to fall back towards your thighs. Beautiful. So yeah, taking a few breaths there. We're going to move into our Sun Salutation A first. So from where you're at, we're going to slowly tiptoe our toes towards our hands. Finding, big bend in the knee as you need. Maybe we can even find some blocks for your hands too. La, la, la. Blocks. The ground can rise to meet your hands. You don't have to meet it down there. So finding that forward fold, big bend in the knees as you need. And then just slowly rising one vertebra at a time. Upwards, upwards, upwards to our mountain pose. So this is not a loosey-goosey, stagnant pose. This is a strong, steady pose. So start by lifting all 10 toes off the ground and dropping one toe down, pinky to big toe first. Beautiful. And then lifting toes up, dropping big toes down to pinky next. Beautiful. We want our palms shining towards the back wall of the house here. A string pulling up from the crown of your head. Beautiful, nice neutral spine. I want to be able to move you. Your core is active. Your feet are grounding down into the earth. This is a nice, strong mountain pose. So on your next inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Shoulders rise over ears. Hopefully this roof is tall enough, sort of. And on the next exhale, we're going to hinge forward at the hips. So imagine a string pulling your butt backwards from your tailbone. Beautiful, a heavy backpack on your back. Arms can kind of swan dive down next to you. Beautiful, and we fall forward. On the next inhale, we will rise to a halfway lift. Nice neutral spine. So again, looking down at the ground and imagining that string pulling your head towards the back wall of the house. And on your exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step the right foot back, step the left foot back, drop the knees. You can maybe come off of your blocks here. Hugging the elbows in towards the side bodies, slowly lowering ourselves all the way down to the earth. And then using the muscles in our back bodies to pull our chest up off the ground, not pushing through the hands, allowing them, even maybe picking them up for a second, putting the hands down. Nose drops, pushing back through child's pose. Beautiful. Tucking the toes under and finding our downward facing dog again. Nice, beautiful. Taking a couple of breaths here, pedaling out the feet as you need. And on your next inhale, beginning to walk the toes forward toward the top of the mat. On the next inhale, rising all the way up to that active mountain pose. So palms shining towards the front of, or I guess the back of the house. Beautiful, arms rise up overhead. Fingers reach up, shoulders rise to meet the ears. On the next exhale, forward fold. Hinging at the hips, heavy backpack on the back. On the next inhale, halfway lift. Beautiful, rising up, lifting your shoulders up a little further. There you go, forward fold. And planting the hands, stepping the feet back. Tucking the elbows in close to your body. Push up down to the ground. Using the muscles of your back body to lift your chest up. Beautiful, planting the hands. Pushing back into your child's pose. And then finding your way into downward facing dog again. Beautiful. So now we're going to move into our sun salutation B. So on your next exhale, walking our toes up towards the top of the mat. But rather than finding that mountain pose, we're going to bend the knees, sink the butt back, sweep the arms up overhead, and find our chair pose. Beautiful. So just like mountain was active, this is also really active toes. Imagining our feet grounding down into the earth and spiraling outwards, almost like they're unscrewing jam jar lids. A lot of activation between the inner thighs, kind of pulling the inner thighs together in a way. Beautiful. And on your next exhale, straightening the legs, forward fold. Beautiful. Halfway lift on the next inhale. Plant the hands on the next exhale. Step back. Push up down to the ground. And this time we can either find the lift just with our back body, or we can plant our hands down into the earth and find baby cobra. Beautiful. Allowing the next exhale to bring us down to the earth. Pushing back either into child's pose or straight into downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. And when you're ready, meeting me in downward facing dog again. This time, right leg lifts into the sky. right thigh meets the chest. Right foot plants in between the hands. If you need to use the whatever hand to help that foot get up there, you're welcome to. Arms sweep up overhead. The back foot finds a 45-degree angle. Beautiful, warrior one. Stay for the inhale. On the next exhale, arms sweep down. Frame the right foot. Right foot steps back. Downward facing dog. I have a little ant friend on my mat over here. On the next inhale, left leg lifts. Left thigh glues to the chest. Left foot plants in between the hands. Back foot finds that 45-degree angle. Arms sweep up overhead. Stay for the inhale. And on the exhale, hands frame the foot. Step back. Elbows glue into the side. Push up down to the earth. And you can find that baby cobra. Exhale brings your face back down. Either coming through child's pose or meeting me straight in downward facing dog. Beautiful. Taking a few breaths here, pedaling out the feet if you need, letting there be a big bend in the knee as you need it to allow the chest to fall. And on the next inhale, the right leg will lift up over your back body. Beautiful. The cat has come to join. And the right knee comes to kiss the right elbow. How does that feel? Is that too much for your wrist?
It's okay.
Okay, and back up into three-legged dog. Right knee comes to kiss the left elbow. Back up overhead. And right knee kisses the nose. Beautiful. Push back up overhead. And right foot comes to plant in between the hands. Beautiful. Left foot finds a 45-degree angle. Arms sweep up overhead. Warrior one. On the exhale, the back foot turns parallel to the back of the mat. Arms sweep out to the sides. Warrior two. Beautiful. Imagining a pencil pinched between your shoulder blades. Eyes gaze over the front fingers. Staying for the inhale and the exhale. On the next inhale, we lean forward, flip the front palm, reach up overhead, the left arm slides down the back thigh. Staying for the inhale, allowing the breath to move into the ribs, into the space between the ribs. On the next inhale, we come back up through warrior two. Right arm drops to the inner thigh of the right leg. Gaze turns up overhead. The arm can also bend to rest on this leg, but don't let your body sink into it. Still should be active. Beautiful. Looking up overhead. Now the right leg straightens, and we drop down here for triangle. Let me grab you some blocks. One block, two blocks, and try it leaning into that again. Beautiful, yeah. Nice. From triangle, we come back up. Our heels spin inside to face the inside of the mat like that. Beautiful. We come to star pose. Star pose, taking up space in this pose. I'm going to give you these blocks for our next movement. Bonk, bonk. On the next exhale, we're going to do a wide leg forward fold. So again, imagining that string is pulling your tailbone backwards, hinging forward at the hips. Beautiful. Hands can come down to the blocks, whatever height feels good, allowing the head to hang as needed. Staying for the inhale and the exhale. Arms, on the next inhale, rise back up to that star pose. And we're going to move into Skandasana towards the back of the mat. So we're going to move like this. And move this star pose. Skandasana towards the back of the mat. So Skandasana can be all the way down here, or it can stay up here, wherever it needs to stay. Hands come to heart center. Beautiful. We'll stay here. for the inhale and the exhale. And now we will turn to face the back of our mats. So the left foot turns to face the back. Right toes, you come up on your right toes towards a high lunge. And the right hand will go down and plant right next to the right foot, the left foot. Left arm reaches up overhead, dragonfly twist. Staying for the inhale and the exhale. Coming back through that high lunge. Back through that skandasana. So the left, yep, there you go. Left leg is bent. And then back up through our star. And now rotating to a high lunge towards the front of the mat. Pushing up through the right leg. The left thigh comes up to the chest. Beautiful. Now we're going to find our tree. So it can either come to our ankle. Our left foot can come to our ankle or our inner thigh. Whatever feels best for you, just not on the knee. Beautiful. Flowy pants.
So staying.
We are gonna stay in this tree pose for a minute, taking time to maybe have your hands come to heart center. Maybe your arms reach up overhead and you find tree. But taking time to find your center in this pose, coming back to that intention of equanimity, to seeing all of this with patience or understanding, to remaining centered, staying for that inhale, and your next exhale, your foot can find the ground, hinging at the hips, folding forward, planting the hands, stepping back into plank, and chaturanga. So we will push up down to the mat. Beautiful. You know your way. Baby cobra. And either through child's pose or downward facing dog. Beautiful. So taking a few moments to breathe here again. Maybe pedaling out the feet, whatever feels good. Maybe taking a drink of water if your body wants it.
Or Starburst.
Or Starburst ice, whatever you need, whatever you've got.
To the dog.
Back to downward facing dog whenever you're ready. So we're going to repeat that flow on the other side. So, when you're ready, the left leg will lift, fighting three-legged dog. Noticing what happens to your hips. So, do they open? Do they stay parallel to the ground? Just noticing. The left knee will come to kiss the left elbow. And back up. Left knee will come to kiss the right elbow. And back up. And left knee will come to kiss the nose. Beautiful. And back up. And gluing the left thigh to the chest. Coming to plant the foot in between the hands. And rising, the back foot turns to that 45-degree angle. Finding warrior one. On the next exhale, the left foot turns to be parallel with the back of the mat. Arms open wide, palms facing the ground. Imagining a pencil pinching in between your shoulder blades. Fingers gazing over the fingers, or your eyes gazing over the fingertips in front. On the next inhale, leaning forward, flipping the palm, reversing the warrior on the exhale. Staying for the inhale, allowing the breath to move in between the spaces of the rib cage. On the next inhale, we turn forward, coming to side angle. The elbow can rest, but don't fall into the elbow. If you're on the elbow, we're lifting up through the chest. Eyes are still gazing up high. On the next exhale, the leg straightens. Let me grab you your blocks. We come to triangle. Here's triangle. And on the next inhale, we rise up. Heels turn in, arms spread wide, star. From here, we'll come into a couple goddess squats. So sinking down as though you're in between two panes of glass. Your heels might want to scooch in a little bit towards one another. And we're gonna pulse here, coming down as low as you can comfortably between those two planes of glass, and pulsing up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going back up to star and finding skandasana towards the back of the mat. Turning to that high lunge, facing the back of the mat, up on your left toes. The left hand plants. And we lift the right arm up towards the sky, finding dragonfly twist. Stay for the inhale and exhale. Rising back up through that high lunge, through skandasana, through star, and then high lunge towards the front of the mat. Pushing through the left leg, the right thigh comes up towards the chest, and then the right foot finds either the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh to find our tree pose. Again, taking a couple minutes, or not minutes, but moments here to find whatever feels like center. Maybe hands come to heart center. Maybe to be branches swing in the sky. And maybe if you're feeling really centered, taking time to challenge yourself to orient around you, moving your eyes from a single point of focus, and seeing what happens to that center. Whoa! Great save. On the next exhale, planting the right foot next to the left, folding forward, planting the hands, stepping back, plank, tucking the elbows, chaturanga, baby cobra, tucking the toes, and finding downward facing dog. Just pedaling out those feet once more. Again, maybe taking some time in child's pose to grab a drink of water if you need.
In child's pose?
Or whatever. You don't have to drink in child's pose. You can drink out of child's pose. Again, coming back to that idea of equanimity, to seeing your experience as I'm seeing mine as we go through this class together with patience and understanding as we're learning together and practicing together. Noticing if you feel a center at all. And if you do feel that center, where it might be. We're going to move down. When you're ready, we will meet on a seat in the middle of our mat. We're going to find our way into boat pose. Are you familiar? So finding, again, that center on your tailbone. The legs come up to be parallel with the ground. Arms come up in front of you. And holding this boat pose here. Again, playing with that idea of center. So maybe tilting back and forth. Maybe noticing if I can perturb you where your center goes. If you're able to hold your center, even as I perturb your boat.
Perturb your boat.
Maybe even taking this block and squeezing it in between your knees, pulling everything in towards that center. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Allow you to relax down to the bench. Inhaling and exhaling. And on our next inhale, coming back up. Finding that boat pose again. Maybe this time, bringing our legs or our heels up a little bit higher. Beautiful. If this is feeling too easy, even straightening the knees a little bit more. Finding a hollow body hold. Or if it's not feeling too easy, bringing the knees bending again. Perturbing.
Unperturbable.
Amazing, look at you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relaxing. Beautiful. Check out that core. It'd be working. Relaxing for just a moment here. Taking some time to come back to our breath. And when we're ready, we will bring our knees up with our feet planted, bending the knees. And begin to cool down a little bit here. So there's going to be 2 options. First option is what's called cow-faced legs, which we've done together in the past. I'm not sure how those felt in your body. They look like this, where we cross right leg over left, and then grab the knife edges of the feet. Was that something that felt accessible for you?
I think so.
So in this situation, pause and put your feet back down. So when you cross your legs over, you want to glue your the hamstring to your quad of the other leg. Beautiful. Yeah, like that. And then slowly bring the knees in towards the chest, and then trying to find the knife edge of the feet. Is that something that feels accessible? And relaxing the head down. Again, we don't need pain. We have other less intense options if this is not feeling good for your body.
Does it look good?
It looks great.
Okay.
Does it feel great for you?
Sure.
We can do something else.
That's okay.
Okay. We're going to stay here for a little while.
Uh-huh.
So if it's intense, we can also do something else.
That's fine.
All right. So staying here, I will join you. Should be feeling a stretch through the outer right hip. Is that where you would say you're feeling the stretch?
Which outer?
Right hip.
Right hip?
Uh-huh. Hi, Simon.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Staying for another 2 breaths. And slowly releasing, trying not to let our legs slingshot out. You can lower the left leg down to the ground and unwind. Maybe taking some time to windshield wiper out, left to right again. Things feel nice and juicy. And you're feeling complete in that, coming back to knees in the center, this time the left hamstring glues to the right quad. We pick the feet up off the ground and find the outer knife edges of the feet. Again, how's the intensity on this side for you?
Yeah, fair.
Okay. Would you like it to be less intense?
No, it's good.
Alright. You're gonna stay here for a little while again. Staying for another 2 breaths. And slowly releasing the feet, allowing the right foot to come down to the earth, uncrossing the legs, and maybe windshield wipering again. And we're just going to find an easy spinal twist. So allowing the knees to fall over to the right side, stacking on top of each other, opening the arms out wide and open, and then allowing your head to fall over towards the left shoulder. Staying for another 2 breaths. Bringing the head back to center. Bring the knees back to center. And when you're ready, allowing the knees to fall over towards the left side and taking that same twist on the other side. So head can turn over to the right. Staying for another 2 breaths. And when you're ready, coming back to center, head and knees. Allowing the arms to come by your side and maybe straightening out the legs, allowing the feet to fall open. Taking a moment to find any last movements that your body may need before we take our Shavasana for a couple moments. And when you're ready, just allowing your body to be held by the ground beneath you, and we'll stay here for a couple moments together. wrap up, maybe inviting some movement back into your fingers and toes first, wrists and ankles, fluttering the eyes open, maybe even taking that slow 180 of the head from shoulder to shoulder to reorient to your space. Noticing how the light has changed as we've been out here. The smells have changed, the sounds have changed. And allowing yourself to just be in the middle of it all still. Thank you for taking some time to do some yoga with me today.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure. And that's all. You can wrap up when you're ready to wrap up.